Hi everyone, welcome to TechTuber. So in this video, we're gonna learn about asynchronous JavaScript, AJAX calls, and APIs. So before moving to asynchronous JavaScript, we should know about synchronous code. What we mean by synchronous code. So here, I have taken an example of the synchronous code. As you can see, I have wrote some JavaScript code. So in JavaScript, this code will be executed line by line. Like first, this console.log will be executed, and after that, this document.query selector will be executed. And next, we have alert statement. So whenever we use alert, a dialog box will appear in our browser, and it will only continue executing our code when we click OK. So for example, if there is an alert box, the rest of the code will not be executed until OK is pressed there. Okay. So if I write something else here, like console.log something, so my JavaScript code will run till this line, this alert time, until I press OK, and this part of the code will be blocked. Okay, so this will not run until I press OK for the alert box. So this is the synchronous code. Everything will be run line by line. Okay. Now I will just change this example to asynchronous code. And I have written set timeout function. This will take a callback console.log. Here I am using arrow function. Some code to be run after, let's take 5 seconds. Okay, and here I will pass 5000 milliseconds. Okay, so in asynchronous code, let's again run this line by line. First, this line will be executed. Next, this line will be executed, and then this set timeout function will not work in asynchronous way, but will work in synchronous way. So should it be relevant if we wait just for 5 seconds to run this callback, and after that 5 seconds our rest of the code will work? No, that should not be acceptable. And by default, set timeout function will work in an asynchronous way. So what I mean by asynchronous, like as soon as our execution come into this line at this place, it will just register the timeout, and this callback will be registered, like it will be run after 5 seconds, but it will not execute this callback right away, as it needs to be executed after 5 seconds. So instead of waiting, this task will be run in background. This will run in the background. This will not block the rest of the code. It will just run in the background. Like after this line, and as soon as callback is registered, and after that it just go to this next line and 6th line. So as soon as 5 seconds will over, this callback will be triggered, and it will run after executing this code. So the callback from here will run after completing 5 seconds. previously it was running at the background, like our timer is running in the background, and as soon as the timer is expired, it will run the code, the callback that it's previously registered. So this way our rest of the code is not blocked, and the callback associated with the asynchronous code is run after as soon as our synchronous code is finished. Okay. So with the help of asynchronous code, our code is not blocked and we do not have to wait, as JavaScript is a single threaded language. So now the confusion comes, like being a single threaded language, how asynchronous code works and how exactly asynchronous code works behind the scenes. So there is a separate video, I will post the link in the description related to it. So for the time being, we just need to know that the asynchronous task will run in the background, and as soon as the task is finished, it will run in the main execution thread. So by asynchronous, we just mean not running in the current time. Okay. This will be executed after 5-second timer, so the timer is expired, and the rest of the code is still being executed even it's running in the background. Okay, so I hope now there is some clear understanding of asynchronous code, like what do we mean by asynchronous code in a JavaScript. The main application of asynchronous code in JavaScript is, or we can say the use case of asynchronous JavaScript is AJAX calls. We're gonna talk about a little bit later here. So to make things more clearer, I will just uncomment it. I hope now you know that this asynchronous code, this line, this part here is asynchronous code, will be run in the background. To make it more clear, I just want to tell you that this callback doesn't make this function asynchronous. It's the default behavior of this timeout function which makes it asynchronous. The callback just run after that particular time. Like if in JavaScript we have like array, if I pass something like this here, okay, and I use for each function, the callback needs to be passed here also. Okay, so like an element console.log but this isn't an asynchronous code. This will run in a synchronous fashion. Callback is being passed here also. So to make it more clear, I just want to tell you that callback doesn't make any code asynchronous. It's the function. Okay, like we have some special functions in JavaScript like timeout, or I can say when we are loading image. Okay, like I want to give an example of the image, like how that works. For example, I want to select an img tag here, and this is the part, and if I set img.src some image, okay, let's get rid of this timeout so that we have more clarity and it will not create any confusion. And I want to listen for the load event, and here callback is also passed. Let's say console.log image is loaded. So by default in JavaScript, image is being loaded in an asynchronous way. Why? Let's say if an image is of very big size, so should it be in a synchronous way and blocks the rest of the code? No, it shouldn't be. It should be loaded in a background. Okay. And next we have this add event listener. And as soon as this image is being loaded, this callback is being triggered. So how this code works in normal Java execution? First, this line will be executed. Next, this line will be executed. And then this line is being executed in background. This will be executed in a background, as this is an asynchronous code. It's the default behavior of loading an image. And then the listener is being registered. Okay. And as soon as the image is being loaded, this callback will be triggered here. Like this will run in a background task. Event listener will be registered, and then this code will be executed, and then console.log. And as soon as the image is being loaded, the callback from that part will be executed. Okay, I'm just showing you some kind of like an example. It's not an exact way like how this callback will be passed at this line. That's not the case. I just want to tell you that after the main code is being executed, the callback from that, as soon as the image is being loaded, is being executed here. So this is done with the help of an event loop. And as I told you that I have a different video to tell you about how JavaScript actually works in an asynchronous way, and everything is explained, like how event loop just picks up the callback from the callback, everything that you need to know. For the time being, I want to tell you how asynchronous JavaScript code work in a layman language. So previously we learned about asynchronous JavaScript, and it was an introduction to the asynchronous JavaScript. So what AJAX means is asynchronous JavaScript and XML, and we already learned about asynchronous JavaScript. So what AJAX do is it allows us to communicate with a remote web server in an asynchronous way. So what we mean by an asynchronous way is, like as we previously learned, like our rest of the code is not blocked, and it will perform its action in an asynchronous way. So to make it more clear, I have this client server architecture kind of diagram. So what it does is, like here, client is our browser. So we request some data from the web server using an API. If you don't know about API, no worries, I will explain it. So as soon as the web server receives the request for some data, it will do some processing and sends back the data. And the client can display that data accordingly. Okay. So with the help of AJAX, it makes JavaScript really powerful. Like we can talk to some web server in an asynchronous way, and our rest of the. So to make it more clear, like who doesn't know about API, I will explain about the API. So API stands for Application Programming Interface. So it's kind of a part of software or a piece of software that can be used by another part or a piece of software in order to allow application to talk to each other. Okay. So in web development or JavaScript, there are some APIs like DOM API, Geolocation API, And the part that we are specifically interested in is web API or online API, or some people also call it as API. Okay, so why are we interested in this API? Like, we use this API to make our AJAX call. Like, why AJAX is there is just to send an HTTP request to the web server and get some data from that web server with the help of web API or API. So AJAX, as we previously see, stands for asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Here. So what XML is? XML is just a data format. So in previous time we use XML as an data format here, but now we no longer use XML. Instead of XML we use JSON. So now JSON is used as a data format, and it will be something like, it's just a JavaScript object, and will be something like this. Like, I have key1 with some value, key2 value 2, something like this. So now most of the APIs are built using this data format. So it was just an older term that we use in XML here. So most importantly, that what we need to know is AJAX make it really possible to request for some data from the web server using an API and get that data. And it performs all that stuff in an asynchronous way, like without blocking our rest of the code. So I hope now you have some basic understanding of the APIs, and in next lecture we're gonna talk about how can we make an AJAX call to a web server. Okay, so I hope I can see you in the next lecture. Thank you everyone. Subscribe to this channel and press the bell notification to get notified as soon as I upload a next video.